17th century was certainly a remarkable time in Western science. It was at this time that scientists started to realize that nature could be understood as being governed by predictable, consistent physical laws. This is ultimately what led to the scientific revolution, and the Enlightenment era that followed was built on this idea that reality is best understood by separating our physical universe into distinct parts in order to observe, model, and ultimately control its behavior. This approach, well known by its label reductionism, has certainly been useful. Many of the most important engineering breakthroughs of the past few centuries are a direct result of this paradigm. Yet, while it has been successful, today's mainstream worldviews confuse the usefulness of reductionism as also being a conceptual tool for discovering deeper metaphysical truths about the fundamental nature of reality. This is largely the case because today's worldviews are situated within a materialist perspective, which tells us that matter, like the atoms and molecules reductionism seeks to understand and manipulate, is the foundational ground layer of existence. This perspective also tells us to see reality as a machine made of parts which can be understood and controlled. In physics, this has driven the pursuit of a theory of everything, a fixed, universal, and singular truth which guides existence. Today, however, our scientific landscape is experiencing a transformation as significant and transformative as the 17th century Enlightenment. We're only just now awakening to a new paradigm of something called complexity science, or it's often referred to as systems thinking, which is now roughly half a century old. At the core of this new perspective is the idea that reality is something far more dynamic and alive than a mechanistic system, and that nature cannot ultimately be reduced to a linear system of cause and effect. This means there will always be limits to our ability to understand, predict, and control nature. It also means there is no one truth with which to control and manage existence. But this isn't a reason for despair. Rather, it's an opportunity to recalibrate ourselves in relationship and harmony to nature. While this emerging field of science is already reshaping everything from medicine and agriculture to weather and climate modeling, it will take time for this paradigm to also reshape our philosophical views into questions of fundamental truth. Today, we're reconnecting with this indivisible wholeness of existence, and we're evolving society past seeing the goal of commanding nature as somehow plausible. Complexity science invites us to begin synthesizing knowledge across disciplines and to reintroduce our intuitive capacities alongside our abilities for logic and reason. The reward will be to live in a more collaborative, adaptive, and resilient society.